From Boston, Mohammed El-Baradei, who, as we've been saying, is the former head of the IAEA and the winner of the 2005 Nobel Prize for Peace. Mr. El-Baradei, thank you for joining us.
Christiane, it's always a pleasure to be with you.
Why, sir, after being head of the IAEA, winning a Nobel Prize, do you want to get caught up in Egyptian politics? Why do you want to run for the presidency?
Well, this is not my primary goal, Christiane, is to run for the presidency. But my primary goal is to see my country, Egypt, a country where I grew up, making a genuine shift toward democracy. You mentioned, irrespective of the personalities, we have a president who has been in power for 30 years. We have a martial law for almost 30 years. This speaks volume for the lack of democracy in Egypt. It's an idea that it's...
Sorry to interrupt you. I just want to ask you, what would it take for you to run? What changes or guarantees are you seeking?
Well, I'm thinking what you have in terms of guarantees in every democracy in the world: a free and fair election, judicial supervision, international supervision, an independent commission to look after the election, to make sure that the election is not rigged as it used to be, make sure that we have equal opportunity in the media. The Constitution has to change, because the way it is crafted right now, it's only a handful of people who have the right even to run for presidency. So democracy is no longer part of the Egyptian lifestyle for over 50 years, and it's an idea that its time has come. I feel odd, frankly, sitting here argue that we need to have democracy in Egypt. It's like sitting here arguing that the earth is flat. You know, we need to move to democracy, and we need to move to democracy as early as possible.
Okay.
This is a basic core value.
So you said it's very difficult even to be able to run. Are you able to run? What do you have to do to make yourself a viable candidate?
Well, I'm organizing, Christiane, a grassroots movement to push the government, to send the government a clear message that they need to change the Constitution, they need to join the rest of the world in becoming a democracy, and hopefully, you know, between now and the time of the election, the autumn of next year, we should be able to get the government to understand that maintaining the status quo is a dead-end street. We have, Ben Widman mentioned, I have 150,000 people on the Facebook. They are active now, 300,000 people. In a country with penetration to the internet of 18%, it speaks, again, volume of the thirst for change in Egypt.
Okay. 100,000 people. Voting population. And although it's been described as you having the support of the young, the educated, many of the frustrated, that you haven't really broken through, and you can't if you don't have the support of the powerful institutions. Let's say the military, let's say the intelligence, that kind of following, that kind of institutional presence, which you haven't got since you haven't been there for so long.
Well, I think the military is part of the people, and the military is witnessing that Egypt is not in the best shape, that we have 42% of the Egyptian lives on less than $1 a day, Christiane. We have 30% of the Egyptian are illiterate. We have Egypt ranking 123 in the Human Development Report. So all the indicators saying that unless we change drastically and empower people, we are going nowhere. So I believe that even the military, the so-called institutions, understand that status quo is not sustainable.
What about your attempts to try to drum up a signature campaign, to try to get that sort of lobbying for your